Hey guys, welcome. I'm Parshvika. Welcome to the channel where we talk a lot about feminine energy, self-improvement topics, manifestation, relationship stuff. In today's video, I'm going to talk about one of the most important thing that I don't know whether you do it or not, whether people do it or not, but I feel like it's really helped me to listen to myself, to who I am, to heal myself, or to be with myself as a person. Because the first relationship that we have is with ourselves. Then we have the relationship with the entire world. Makes sense, right? So the thing that I want to cover is that do you talk with yourself? Now, it may seem counterintuitive, it may seem funny or sarcastic to a lot of the people, but it's true. Do you talk with yourself? And if you talk with yourself, what kind of voice or tone of the voice you use? Let's dive in. Give this video a big thumbs up. Do consider subscribing for more such videos. We have some cool resources. We have like feminine energy short mini course. If you're interested, the link is in description. Also female self-care planner. All the links are in description. If you're interested, you can check it out. Okay. So do you talk with yourself? And if you talk with yourself, what is the tone of that voice? How do you talk with yourself? Do you punish yourself when you're talking? Do you beat yourself up? Or are you strict with yourself? Or you actually, how to say it? I'm not getting the word right now. But are you angry with yourself when you talk with yourself? Like, what is that tone of voice? And what do you say and how do you say it? Did you notice these things? Because everybody talk with themselves. Whether you do it consciously, subconsciously. Majority of the people do subconsciously. Like you always have two voices in your head. One is the voice of your higher conscious mind and another is the voice of your ego. So majority of the time, the thinking is negative. We kind of like scolding ourselves. We did something and we were like, oh, I forget about this. Oh, I didn't done this thing. How can I do this? How can I be like this? Or how can I do bad stuff? Or how I'm gonna get it? I'm not enough or I'm not worth it. Like we always say something or the other to ourselves. Did you notice that self-talk that you're talking with yourself? Now, personally, I am more kind of a person who talk with myself in the mirror. I know it may seem counterintuitive to a lot of the people and people will be like, oh, it's funny, who talk with themselves, it's crazy. Yes, it's crazy, but we all talk with ourselves. We all talk, whether we talk it like literally out loud or we talking to ourselves in our mind, but we do talk. I talk with myself in the mirror because I feel like when I look myself directly in the mirror, eyeball to eyeball, I can talk with myself so clearly. And when I talk, I can feel how I feel about the things. And I feel like most of the people, they struggle to talk with themselves, especially in the mirror. Like when you're doing the self-love practices, you might have heard one of the very common self practices to look yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. Or say, I adore you. I admire you. You're amazing. You're beautiful. Like saying those things to yourself by looking yourself in the mirror. It's very hard for a lot of the people because their self-talk or the way they talk to themselves is not positive. They scold themselves. Like there is an inner adult who is always scolding the inner child. We all have the different versions of our ages within ourselves and that's come on time and time and just come out. And we scold ourselves if you don't behave well in front of other people and other people said something to you, you started scolding yourself. How could I do this? How could I behave like this? I should be good. I should be like this. And you expect a lot from yourself. You beat yourself up a lot about doing some things in a certain way that's not appropriate for the other people, external outside of you. So do you talk with yourself? And what kind of tone is it? I just want to repeat this question again because it's really a powerful question. Give yourself a moment and ask yourself this question. I know everybody talk with themselves, but are you in agreement that you talk with yourself? Because some people is like, I don't talk with myself. It's crazy. Who talk with themselves? If mad people talk with themselves, right? They say it that way. But everybody talk with themselves. Whether you talk in your mind or out loud or whatever way, shape or format, everybody do talk. Like right now, I'm talking to the camera. I'm talking to myself. But I'm talking to the camera, but still I'm talking to myself. So what is the tone of the voice that you're talking with yourself? Is it loving? Is it caring? Is it respectful? Is it shows that you're worth it? What kind of tone of this voice, and how do you tell yourself? Are you scolding yourself? Are you treating yourself well? Or are you beating yourself up for a mistake that you did years before? Because everything that who you are or you're going to be in the future is based on your self-talk. We blame other people for our situations. We blame people, situations, circumstances, lack of money, lack of knowledge, lack of experience, or age, whatever. We scold and we blame so many people outside of us for our own problems. But the main problems start within ourselves. The main problems start when you don't treat yourself well. If you don't treat yourself well, you won't be treating other people well, and other people won't be treating you well, because everything is a mirror reflection of you, right? Everything is you pushed out. So, are you loving yourself when you talk with yourself? Do you love yourself? Have you asked these questions? I know these questions may seem silly if you're doing it for the first time, but they are really essential and important questions if you want to change your life. Because if you don't love yourself, never ever will ever going to be any person that will going to love yourself. Because somebody or other person, anything or everything is a reflection of you. Your partner is a reflection of you. If you're not treating yourself, your partner will not gonna treat you well. And we start scolding and blaming them. How could you do this? Why did you do this? How could you be like that? Why don't you behave like that? Why don't you respect me? Why don't you love me? But do you respect yourself? Do you love yourself? And if you want other people to talk with you in a good way, respect you, and treat you really well, do you do all those things to yourself? Did your self-talk is healthy? Did your self-talk is loving, is caring? Ask yourself these questions and take yourself some time, or give yourself some time, note it down on a piece of paper what's coming. Because your body will going to tell you the answers. You don't need to get the answers from the other people. Why do you talk with myself like this? Why don't you love me? Why don't you respect me? You are like this. You behave like this. You're not like this. You treat me so badly. I'm not worth it. You say all those things outside of you and blame other people for all those of things. There is nothing wrong with that. Do it. If it's helping you, do it. But at the end of the day, after doing all that, just simply ask yourself a question. Do you love yourself? Do you care about who you are? Do you treat yourself nicely? Do you respect yourself? What does your self-talk look like? I know everybody talk with themselves. If you talk out loud or in the mind, whatever it is, how do you talk with yourself? What's the tone of the voice? What do you say? What's the feeling behind it? Are you scolding yourself? Are you angry with yourself? Because oftentimes we are angry with the situation, but then we are angry with ourselves, not with that other then or the situation. But then we don't realize it because we are looking at the other people. Like, people take this 3D reality so seriously. And I'm not saying I'm not perfect. I also make mistakes, but I learn from them. And I'm still learning. So when I take 3D too seriously, it just messed me up. Because I'm trying to fix things in the external without even realizing that is there is something internal that I need to repair first, then I can repair outside. Or what if I repair inside, then everything outside of is automatically changed because everything is reflection of you. So again, ask yourself this question. Do you talk with yourself? What kind of tone or voice do you use? What do you tell yourself? Do you scold yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you care yourself? Do you respect yourself? Because if you don't do all these good things to yourself, no one will ever gonna be able to do that because they are just reflection of you. This 3D is a reflection of you. You can't blame other people. If you're blaming other people for your situation, circumstances, you're never gonna get things right done. Because when you blame other people, you give the power to them. It happens because of this person. That means that person did this thing to you. That means if this person doesn't change, then the things in your life won't change. And if that person didn't change, you're miserable. Your life is bad. I hope it makes sense what I'm trying to say that. It may seem good in the beginning. Oh, it's happening because of that person. I don't have to take blame on me. But then you're giving your power to that person. And now that person has the power. And if they change, your life changes. Otherwise, your life is bad. And then you feel bad, and then you feel victimized. Oh, I'm victim to my life. Oh, I'm slave to the life. This life is bad. This life is boring. This life is so miserable. And then you started repeating those words. And it's never going to help you, because that person will never be able to change, because it's a reflection of you. How can you change your reflection if you're not changing yourself? And then you are in the endless cycle of blaming the people, getting things that's not good to you, and then you blaming the people, getting back, and the whole life is like that. And the end, the people say is, I hate my life, I don't love my life, life is bad, life is a struggle. And that's what they get. Simple. So take your time right now, wherever you are, with whatever you're doing. Take a piece of paper and ask yourself these important questions. Do you talk with yourself? And how do you talk? Self-talk in the mind or talking out loud? What is the tone of the voice? Do you respect yourself? Do you love yourself? What do you say to yourself? You're going to get the answers, and then you know what to do. Hopefully you get something out of it. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for tuning in this video. I'll see you the next time. Till then, take care. Bye, guys.